A grave illness. It's been happening every night, doctor. Around midnight, the head nurse forcefully whispered to Dr. Griffin just outside the patient's room. It's not good for his health, he went on, waking every night screaming and panicking like that. The whole week, doctor. Dr. Griffin entered the patient's quarters for a private talk about the recent nightly disturbances. The patient, Morris, opened up to the psychiatrist with lowered eyes and a fragile voice. A vision in my head, doc. Every night it rises from one of the graves outside. He was referring to Rosemary Cemetery, the graveyard situated right next to the asylum. It holds a blue rose in its hand, the same one every night, looking up at me through my window as I sleep. Dr. Griffin made a deal with Morris. To reassure his patient, the doctor promised to visit the cemetery at midnight and report about it at their following meetup. Dr. Griffin entered the pale fog of Rosemary Cemetery just before midnight. He stepped softly towards the graveyard center, hearing nothing but the moans of cool night air. When his position appeared equidistant from the cemetery's peripheral hedges, Dr. Griffin checked his watch. It was midnight, and suddenly a limb-locking shriek rang out from the asylum. The doctor turned and saw Morris's window light up on the second floor as nurses rushed into the room. All was quiet in the cemetery, not a cricket chirping, and Dr. Griffin planned to tell Morris just that. The screaming had faded when the doctor stepped on something velvety. He bent over to see a tattered rose lying by one of the graves. Then he felt a large hand grab his shoulder. Morris, the patient, died of shock that night. His room was to be occupied by a new patient, Dr. Griffin. Frightened out of his wits by the head nurse who had entered the cemetery to replace his dead mother's rose, Dr. Griffin shivered in his new quarters as he looked down through the window at Morris's impromptu funeral at Rosemary Cemetery. Morris, finally at rest, slept in the open casket as his family took turns eulogizing. Dr. Griffin couldn't hear them and didn't try. His attention was fixed entirely upon what that had been placed in Morris's dead hands. The red rose.